session filled with entertainment and, you know, the Bollywood and the style and everything. I think this is going to be the perhaps another entrepreneur session we are back with and talking about the startups and the economy as a whole. But thanks for being here, friends. And the topic of this particular discussion is the next frontiers. And you can see, how we have a sequence of sessions since morning where we are discussing the whole entrepreneur journeys. And now we have reached to a stage where we will discuss about the next frontiers. And we could not have better than someone like, Piyush, who's actually InMobi became the first unicorn of this country. So the immediate question now to you is, Piyush, when the next frontier is going to be? And the question that I have framed for me is, as we are already living in a digital world and moving ahead far more aggressively, in your view, what would be the next tech frontier?
Firstly, great to be here. Thank you for inviting, and always nice to be in the ET Entrepreneurship Summits. I've always learned so much from the other speakers and the audience. I'll be joking if I do not bring up the AI topic. And within AI, there's a lot happening which I do feel is going to be the next frontier. The first big, which I'm sure you guys feel it, while we, of course, we could palm off our secretaries and EAs through calendars and travel and whatnot. I think anyone who writes and consultants and analysts and all of that has completely changed because of what is happening with the agentic AI world. If you guys have not tried that yet for yourself, you should. It is going to be world-changing for you as a businessman, you as an entrepreneur, you as a professional. And that's one big shift that we are seeing. As glance, of course, we are seeing the rise of not the personalized internet, but the personal internet, where the devices around us will automatically understand our tones, our preferences, what we like, not like, and predict what's going to be best for us. So I think it's not gone of the world where there'll be a world of apps where you go in. It'll be our devices, our TVs, our phones, our glasses from the recent Meta glasses out there. So that's a big, big frontier shift. And all of this is in the realm of content, commerce, all of that. I'm also super excited about the massive shift in health, like predictive health, education curriculums that are individualized for each student, and smart cities. I think the whole concept of smart cities where they can predict traffic is going to change. So all of this is within AI, but I feel that this is real. And if your business is not leveraging these, then there's something fundamentally wrong.
Certainly, I think valid points. On the AI front, I will use the same word. Sometime back, I was trying to use in another session about James Bond and Mission Impossible. Do you see a world with so much of AI that you walk on the street and you will have some robot guiding you through your sunglass? Benji, go this side. Benji, go that side. There is a traffic here. There is a police here. How do you see that happening?
It's already happening. Has anyone sat in a Waymo self-driving car in San Francisco? I did that personally on my birthday this time on 20th Jan. And while you can read about it, you can watch it, when you sit in that Waymo car, it comes to you like an Uber, right? And then you see the wheel moving, and there's no one on there, you're sitting there, it is taking you to your destination, it's turning around, it's flawless. I think it's real.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. In fact, when it comes to the car, I remember that old joke whenever people were saying that there will be driverless cars. And looking at the population, people were worried whether the driverless cars will be good. But someone made a very sharp comment. At least there won't be drunken drivers if the driverless car comes. But anyway, we are going towards that world. You mentioned about AI, and Piyush, that's where my next question is. What kind of tech and innovation do you see emerging in your sector that you're working? And more importantly, AI is the flavor of the season. What kind of difference do you see now it is making specifically in your segment?
So I think we were already, like even in the pre-Gen AI world, there was a lot of AI that Glance and InMobi was using. We just didn't call it that way. But now, I will say that with the recent advancement in technology, it's actually completely revolutionizing what we are doing in Glance AI. We are going to change and reshape the world of shopping. What do I mean by that? Till now, when internet came, we had the world of e-commerce. When social came, we saw the world of social commerce. When AI came or has come, we are going to herald this whole change of AI commerce. It's very different. In the earlier world, we were getting inspired by a Shah Rukh or a Deepika wearing those clothes. In the social world, we got inspired by creators and influencers talking about the clothes, wearing clothes, showing it. We feel in this whole new world of AI, you are the hero of the story. Each individual, each user is going to be the influencer of their own might, where you can imagine and visualize how you would look in this new Mintra collection, in this new Gap drop, in this new latest audio accessories. So that's what Glance is doing. We're saying you are the hero of the story, you are the model, you are the mannequin. Imagine how it'll look like on you 10 times a day, each time you glance on your phone or on your TV, and that's what will inspire you the most than looking at some other celebrity or creator talking about it. So that's a huge, massive shift in commerce and shopping that we are going to bring out there in the next couple of months. And we believe it's going to be a game changer because it is not just some other LLM model or a chip. It is actually a consumer product built from India globally that is going to change shopping. So that's what we are doing on the Glance front.
No, certainly. At one point of time where we think whether AI is a flavor of the season, we get so many real case studies which makes you believe things are changing rapidly. But my question to you is about your learnings and experience. When you started perhaps, InMobi, which became, the unicorn, things were absolutely different. But now we have more than 125 unicorn startups and newer technologies coming almost every day. And everybody is talking about AI and developing their own AI bots and agentic AI. So how difficult it is for you to stay ahead of the curve now and perhaps build the second unicorn with the same?
Yeah, I think we should. How difficult is it? I think it's going to be way more difficult to build the next few big unicorns linked to technology. I'll tell you why. I recently had the privilege of meeting Jensen Huang in Mumbai in one of the intimate breakfast sessions. And he was sharing. And he said something that shook all of us 15 entrepreneurs up. He said, even today, despite being the founder and head of a $3 trillion company at that time, he wakes up every morning and asks himself this question: what will I do or what should I do to avoid that my business will shut down in 30 days? And what should I do today to avoid that to happen? We were zapped. So this guy is thinking about these things, hamara kya hoga? Right? And it's just a stark reminder. It's a stark reminder of just that tech is so fast and so unforgiving. And the only solution to survival is relentless adaptability. I think to us, I mean, if NVIDIA can think like that, if he at his level can think like that, every month there's a new model, every month there's a new chipset, and there is already, I'm sure you guys know, there's already AI debris in the Silicon Valley, which means companies who were invested and funded millions of dollars in the last 1 year are already shutting shop. So in all of this, the moral of the story is that it's going to take, if you want to survive, you're going to be on top of the curve. We survived. Like, it's been 18 years for InMobi and Glance. And the only reason why we survived and we transformed and we scaled and did well is because we kept on innovating, not just in good times, but also in the worst of times. If anyone out here is thinking that they will get past this innovation curve, this tech curve, I think you're smoking dope. If your industry is affected by AI and tech, I think that's what we saw, and an ability for people to be humble, to say we may also die, and hence how should we make sure our people, our engineers, our product guys are constantly on the problem statement, and not just the hype कि कुछ AI में करना है, versus the actual problem statements linked to our industry or users. I think we are far more cautious and paranoid, if I may use a word, given what's happening out there.
Basically, just not do it for the sake of doing it, but has to have a clear case study there. Noted. Friends, I will come to you with maybe one question or so. Before that, I will shoot one question about Vikasit Bharat. I will ask my team to keep mic ready and be ready with specific questions. Maybe we'll get a time to take one question. So Piyush, more importantly now, fortunately, again, I was also listening to Jensen Huang because ET had a great conversation with him, and I remember what he said. I'm happy that you shared that with the people, that a person like him, if he can wake up in the morning and thinks what changes will happen, I think. So we have large number of fintech startups coming with different innovation and strategies. We are raising, I was just looking at data in fintechs, and startups have raised more than $50 billion in the last 10 years. That's kind of the size of the, industry that we have built. And now when we are marching towards, Vikasit Bharat, what do you think will make entrepreneurs startup maybe not just next unicorn, that's the valuation and the value game which many of are following, but a sustainable, profitable business model, if you think socially, economically, positively, what do you think they should follow? How do you see these fintech companies shaping up in Vikasit Bharat? How would you like to see them? If any thoughts, any suggestions, any recommendations?
Yeah, it's a very deep question. And it's something personally very, very important in the way I think about it. I think before we think about Viksit Bharat for 2047, all the entrepreneurs here should remember what India, the superpower, was back then. And the biggest shift and the biggest thing is, India is a land of millions of entrepreneurs at that time. The reason we were so big and superpower and drove 1/3 of the world's GDP was because we had the legacy of innovation, invention, discovery, from Ayurveda to decimal, to astronomy, to physics, to Vastu, to yoga maybe. Any sphere of life, weren't we the people who are actually inventing, innovating, and building global businesses? We're forgetting that the best merchants of India used to go to all over the world, take our spices, take our cotton, take our cloth, and they were great entrepreneurs. So I think it has to start from us remembering first that no one else needs to teach us entrepreneurship. ये हमारे खून में है. Since our ancestral forefathers back then, as one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time, and it doesn't mean we should learn from the Silicon Valley necessarily. We knew that we could build great businesses and lead fully balanced lives, healthy lives, spiritual lives, live with family and yet feel successful. That is what Indian entrepreneurship is all about. So my big call is, let's not get too caught on to this whole thing on work-life balance and 70 versus 90 hours. Look at what we were back then and what we have done. This is the legacy that we have had. And I actually foresee Viksit Bharat should be about infinite ambition. Infinite ambition, not because it's the first time, because we'll be doing it for the second time since the pre-colonial India. So kiya hua pehle? Why can't we do it again and bring it back to that sort of ambition? Because that's what we did as InMobi. We said we have to build global products. We'll not think small. So that's my call out to everyone. It is possible, and India leads tens of millions of entrepreneurs to regain that, I would say, superpower state.
Certainly, and when we did it then, when traveling was just 40 40 days away. Now we can do it in few hours and quickly with DPI for sure. One question quickly. Anybody has any question? Yes, can we have a question here? Yes, can we have a mic there, please?
I have a question here.
Okay, you grab the opportunity,
Yeah,
yeah?
the mic, yeah.
Go ahead.
So with InMobi, I'm here.
Go ahead, yes.
So InMobi must be sitting on a lot of data, and there is so much of rapid innovation happening in the AI space. When do you decide which part of your business to innovate on? Where do you apply AI in your business? What is the model of decision making? Because there's so much of rapid change going on in the AI space. Where do you implement? How do you make your decisions to implement in your business AI?
Well, any business we are a part of, if we don't innovate and leverage and do something new, we'll die. There's no concept of a cash cow in digital businesses. I don't think so. In fact, there should not be a concept of a cash cow in so-called physical businesses also, because they become extinct very soon if they don't innovate, right? So, quick answer. I think we had to go out and leverage the latest tech and the latest thing for any business that is important for our future. If there are legacy businesses that we are saying, "Nee, band karta hai, this is not important," we have not invested much, fine. But all of InMobi, all of Glance, and now all of Reposo, we are unleashing and doing whatever is needed to first protect it and then scale it.
Fantastic. The gentleman has already a mic. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. My name is Peterson. I'm from a healthcare startup, pre-seed stage. My question is, while for an AI-driven healthcare startup like ours, what strategic funding opportunities do you see working in today's market? And why I ask this specific question is, anything that we do in AI place, tomorrow it is easily reproducible. We are playing in the foundational algorithm space and in the inference layer and not in the application layer. So how easy it is for us to tap into some investments, and what are your 2-3 pointers that you can share with us that can help us in the days ahead?
So I'm sure Piyush will have an answer, but we had investors, my dear friend, earlier in the earlier panels.
So this is specific to InMobi, how you have
Certainly.
scaled up in the past creating unicorns.
It's a very specific question, sir. I mean, I just say a simple thing. There is no dearth of capital in this country here. If you have a great product and you've done something great, there'll be many, many people who will flock. There's so much money. There's so much money chasing, I would say, very few high quality players. So do not worry. Please invest in your effort of building a great product that kills it. There'll be so many people lining up around your door, outside your door. Do not worry about capital. There are VCs, there are angels, there are angel syndicates, there are 0 to 1 angels, there are -1 to 0 angels, there are 1 to 10 angels, there's foreign money, there's Korean money. It's insane. It's insane. So focus on your company. Do not worry about the capital, it'll come.
Certainly, thank you so much for that inputs. But as I understand, a lot of VCs, angel investors are betting really, really high on India. A lot of investors are actually looking for VC conferences and trying to invest in the Indian startups. Obviously, the funding winter has its own issues and challenges, but no investor has told me in my conversation that he has stopped signing the checks. The only thing is they are evaluating more because the kind of checks they signed during the pandemic was a different era. But yes, the checks are still being signed. I shared a data sometime back in my previous session that we have more than 100 of startups, which has unicorn startups, and funding has been increasing month by month far more aggressively. I think that's it from my side. The time is up already, but thank you so much for your questions and listening to us very, very patiently. I will give it back to the anchor. Thank you so much, Piyush, for your inputs. Thank you.